Hey everyone, it's your favorite sick boy Goomba here. This is a follow-up to the checkpoint video. Looks like you guys enjoyed that one, and obviously I want to document more. Because I've done some findings together with a bunch of people. I'll mention them once I'll get to it. So, first thing is actually something I discovered on stream. So let's say we did a full lap. You can see my cursor around dry. And normally when you cross the finish line, obviously, you'd get a lap, right? So what you can actually do in dry is you can go into a Lakitu zone right here, and it will spawn you back. Now, I hope you paid attention to the value on the left. If not, you could see my value change from 1 to 0, and this is really important. I'll come back to this later. So let me first just show you what happens if I fly over here. So for the people that don't know, I'm flying just to test stuff out. So over there, that triangle over there is the finish. So let's go there. So yeah, I'm flying just to show things and to prove that it works. So what I want to do is understand the system before I can actually try and implement it into normal gameplay. And there you go. The lap actually counts. Why is this? In fact, if you were to try this without doing this Lakitu thing, like you'd cross the finish line and then go over it, it wouldn't work. If you do the Lakitu thing, you cross the finish line, or you just go backwards all the way, you still go over there, it works. Now, here's a little screenshot of the dry checkpoints that I made. So take a look at this red section. This is where the checkpoints that you need to cross is. You only need to cross one, and that's really strange. So that actually got me thinking, are there any other tracks where this Lakitu thing is possible? Now obviously we know that Bowser Castle has one of these things, and I'll show you this at the end of the video. However, there's one track where this is also possible, and you might not think of it right away, but let me show you. I've driven a full lap just to show you. Now there's a trick you can do over here. So first, let me show you what happens if you cross the finish line and then try and do the trick, right? Okay, thanks. So yeah, you cross the finish line. You see your value went to 1, and just like no matter if I fall down before the finish line, it will remain at 1, which will not make this trick work. In fact, if you want to see proof, I can just simply go out of bounds, and you see it won't work. So the question is, how do we get across the finish line and hit a Lakitu zone right there? If you try to shroom normally, this will happen. You get pretty far, but it's just barely not far enough. You can try it from all the way back here, but once again, it's not enough. Also, in case you guys are wondering, there's actually right there an invisible wall. Check this out. When I just slightly adjust my angle, I just fall down. So how do we actually make this? Well, there's a very specific trick. Check this out. There you go. So as you can see, we triggered the lap and our value is now 0. So what happened there? I have another clip of me doing it. So what's going on there, I think, is called a snag boost. If you have seen the Choco Mountain Weather Tenko, that's actually what's going on right there. Is how they cancel out part of the shroom. Now, the reason I do this, which I can show you right now, is that we need just barely, like a little bit, like a little jump like this would have been enough to make it normally. But the thing is, a shroom actually increases your momentum downwards. Just shrooming anywhere will just slightly pull you down a little bit more. So what the boost does is it cancels out a lot of the shroom by just being stuck here. And then as soon as we get off this, the shroom ends. So we fly a little bit longer than we normally would use to, than, you know, with the shroom. So we actually make that jump.
Make that jump, come on.
So how this works is you hold B, you can be against the wall, but you need to be moving. So you hold B, you shroom, you keep holding B, and when you press A, that's when you start speeding up again. So it's a really tricky timing. This invisible wall is, well, annoying. Anyway, that's part 1. So what's part 2? To show you that this trick now works, I'm just gonna do the same exact thing I did earlier. So I'm just gonna go out of bounds. And there you go, the lap count. It's not a very fast lap though. So what does this mean? Well, if you can see over there on the right, you can see these red and yellow bars, right? Let me back up just a little bit more so maybe you can see it better. This one right here. So here's a map of the checkpoints in Mushroom Bridge. I think this is the one we need to hit. So Lofton and I did a bunch of experimenting and we realized that you need to hit this checkpoint coming from this way. Now, the reason for this is probably just so the game checks like, oh, you're going in the right direction, right? And if you go backwards, it might say, alright, well, you came in from the previous one. I'm just gonna assume you're going backwards. So, how does this work? Well, there you go. And now you spawn. And the lap counts. You might have noticed the timer is a little bit different. That's because I actually loaded a save state, which had a good angle. Because this is insanely, absolutely insanely precise. So let's just hang around here a bit. You gotta hit this. So you need to get a specific angle and enough height to pass the Lakitu zone and then cross the checkpoint. So you might be wondering, alright, cool and all, but you just flew over the entire lake. What are you gonna do about this? Well, there's actually a solution to this. So let's say you are in Grand Prix, and I think this will be necessary in order to do this trick. So you grab a few shrooms, and at this point, I mean, really, I could pretend it technically could be faster, but let's be real here. There's probably not a reason at all to do this trick, because it's probably not faster. Now, the thing is, I'm doing this because I want this actually to work, so it's like a proof of concept for other skips. So let's do this right here. So I've never gotten this trick to work like this. Oh my god, dude. Well, there you go. There you go, that's the angle.
Just like that. That's all there is to it.
So yeah, is it possible to make that jump? It is. And this was actually right here, the first legit done skip, technically, on Mushroom Bridge. That's some, is that history or what? I mean, it didn't save anything. My lap was 44 seconds, but goddammit, I am proud. So there you go, that's how to do it. That's the skip right there. So of course you're thinking, wow, fantastic Goomba, that's a great job. Clap, clap, slap, slap. But how are you gonna use this as a theory or proof or whatever? Well, this track might have the answers. So let's say you did a lap of Bowser's Castle and got yourself a blue shell. Now, normally you do the following. You go up like this, cross the finish line, and then blow yourself up, and you'll be teleported up to the bridge, right? We all know this. However, there's another way you can do this. Now, I'm not saying another way to do Bowser Skip, that's still a blue shell. However, check this out. So I go up here, I go back, touch the checkpoint, and go over the line. And the weird thing is, it doesn't count. Now, watch this when I go forward. It counts. So there's something in here where we can make the lap progress disappear. And this sets up the game to be really weird in its behavior. Now, keen watchers might have noticed that this is pretty much the same that I showed last time. However, this is a different application of it, so check this out. This technically, if we were doing Bowser Skip normally, would be our finish line to lap 3, right? So what's going on? What's making this interesting? Well, this is a hard trick, so give me a second. You want to fall in the water like this, just barely ahead of the finish line. In fact, you could have seen my progress be like barely ahead. However, if you do this, you actually trigger the checkpoint or the Lakitu zone that is from like right here, like this water, and the jump from right here, right? So then you cross the finish line again, and it counts. So check this out. So let's say I do the trick again. And I finish the lap in 7 seconds. Now, this is without any flying or whatever. So this is a perfectly legit 7-second lap you could get in Grand Prix. Here's a clip of Zware Jonge doing it. So credits to him for finding out this way of doing it. Really cool stuff, and I'm really glad that everyone is like trying their own little thing to help me with this ridiculous idea of actually breaking Double Dash. So the question is, will it ever be possible to pull off like a Mario Kart Wii like Grumble Volcano like shortcut, where we just drive around like this on the balcony and it works? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this update video on checkpoints with a new cool skip that's actually real now. I used to call it a potential skip, but I guess it's actually real now. So something I forgot to mention is how fast you can do this. Now I know I said it's gonna be a lot slower, but like this will require like a bunch of time, right? So let's say around 6 to 7 seconds. And then this jump, you have to like first grab a shroom, make sure it's like triple shrooms, but let's just say RNG is in our favor, and then jump over at the right angle, which will also take like a bunch of time. At that point, truly, you can have driven the lap already, and it's insanely precise. So what would be better technically would be still to find a way to clip into this mushroom house or the left side of this thing right here, or this wall, just a little bit. But yeah, clipping into this would definitely give the best result. As you can see, that was a 27 and I messed around a lot, so yeah, it's pretty fast. So yeah, thanks for watching, bye bye, see you next time.